Hi classes, this is the 7th video of Unit 1. As we neared the end, there's a really important topic we still need to address that we've done a little bit during our discussions, but not so much as official content. And that's hate crimes after 9/11. So before we discuss hate crimes, it's important to know what a hate crime is. A hate crime is defined as a criminal offense motivated either by race, ethnicity, religion, disability, sexual orientation, gender, or identity. So there's been a lot of different types of hate crimes that have happened in US history that we'll discuss throughout the year, but today is going to focus on hate crimes against Muslims in a post 9/11 society. Now, the FBI tabulated hate crimes ever since 1992, but after 9/11, there was a 9-week increase of hate crimes against Muslims. In 2000, there were only 28 reported hate crimes against Muslims in the United States. But in 2001, there were many more. 481 to be exact. Now, between 2002 and 2014, those numbers then went down a little bit. Not as low as they were before 9/11, but significantly better than 2001. They were averaging around 105 or 106 hate crimes against Muslims a year. But then there was another big increase in 2015, when there were 257 hate crimes. This is the highest number post 9/11 or since 2001, basically a 67% jump the year before. So what happened in 2015 that it went up so much? Well, a few things we can look at. There was a terror attack in Paris on November 13th with a truck, and there was 45 cases within the 4 weeks after this. So even though the event was in Paris, hate crimes went up in the United States. You also had other things going on in the United States in 2015, which part of it would be the ban that President Trump tried to put in place against Muslims. 15 attacks against Muslims took place in the 5 days after Trump's proposal, which was on December 7th. Now note, the majority of hate crimes religiously weren't even against Muslims. 664 hate crimes took place in 2015 against Jewish Americans. However, Muslims make much less part of the population. They only consist of about 1% of the American population, whereas about 70% are some form of Christian and then other percentages for other religions. There's also some demographics we can look at. How do Americans feel about Muslims in America after 9/11? Half of those 65 and older believe that Muslims in America support terrorism, whereas most younger people and hopefully most people that go to PCTI would disagree with that statement. So although we've had some spikes, there seems to be an overall decrease of hate crimes against Muslims. How do we keep that going? Well, there is a book by Jeffrey Kaplan. He's an academic that researched this. He said, why is there a decrease? Well, part of it he credited to the leadership by the president. Keep in mind, he wrote this book in 2010. Okay, so we had different presidents at the time. He also accredited it to law enforcement intervention and also to grassroots outreach, groups by education, church groups, trying to show support for the Muslim community. Also after 9/11, what was created was the Institute for Social Policy and Understanding. If you look at the website, this is what it says is what they are about. It reads, in a post-9/11 world, American Muslims face numerous challenges that prevent individuals from realizing their full potential. ISPU addresses these challenges through solution-seeking research, paving a way for a brighter future. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that they've reported. 42% of Muslims in a K-12 school reported to being bullied because of their faith. That's an insanely high number. What do we do about that? How would you feel if you were bullied? Maybe you were for this reason. Okay, something that they try to address and they want more Americans to address as well. There's also the story of Balbir Singh Sodhi that we should address. He was the first really known case of a hate crime against Muslims after 9/11. If you look at that book or the graphic novel we have in the back, there is a page here dedicated to what happened to him. Basically, he was a gas station owner in Mesa, Arizona, and right after 9/11, a 42-year-old man who was a Boeing aircraft mechanic said he was going to get out and shoot some towelheads. Now, Sodhi is not even Muslim, he's Sikh. Unfortunately, many Americans don't know the difference. Many people throughout the world don't know the difference. And whether he was Sikh or Muslim or whatever he was, obviously it was a hate crime. So this was like the first instance following 9/11. There's an editorial by a woman who is an educator, Ms. Rosal Alurabi, and she wrote about her story of being a young child after 9/11. And she remembers being on the bus and being told, "Do you guys know what happened? I heard your people did it." So imagine what that feels like as a child, being completely innocent, not supporting terror whatsoever, but just because of your faith being blamed for the deaths of thousands of people. In the same article, one of my teacher friends, Eric Fieldman, elaborates on the point is when these instances happen today, your generation does not even remember 9/11, right? So how ingrained is it now in our society that certain people are being bullied for events that we may not even recall? What has been happening in society, what things in politics, what things in society in general have been supporting this type of hatred towards others. And that's where we really want to stop and reflect today is what do we do about it? What do we do to stop hate crimes against Muslims and really against all people? How do we protect everyone's civil liberties? How do we give justice where it's deserved, but protect the rights and people who are really innocent of it? What does it mean to be an American, and what do we have to do to remind ourselves of that? So hopefully we can discuss this more in class. There's more case studies we can look at. And if there's any questions, please bring it up and we will discuss them.